Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Tuesday, the 28th of July 2020. So yesterday, dollar collapse sends gold and silver and cryptos soaring. And we're seeing more of the same thing overnight as well. Everything is turned around and is about the dollar. It used to be, obviously, the strongest currency of all currencies, which are devaluing because of the amount of money that is being printed. But now it too is being subjected to being hammered lower. Gold futures hit 2,000, and you'll see in the same thing. Silver and crypto are snapping higher again on the Asian Open. They've come down a bit since. It's got to be some sort of breathing, profit taking, etc. But we're in a different situation now. And you can see here that this is the Bloomberg dollar index. You can see this moving lower. And you can see gold moving higher. We've crossed, and this is only going to get worse going forward. That's for sure. And there's no doubts about the volatility is going to be picking up, because as we head forwards, this is how the second half of 2020 is going to look, combined with the virus and everything else. This is how it looks for the US dollar with the money printing. It's going to be great news for gold and silver. For all these years we've waited for this trade, and that trade is a solid trade. It is not something that is short term. And even here you can see that we've got this headline: US dollar at risk of sudden collapse, ex-IMF official warns blow-up event could sink currency as debt mounts. What's interesting here is that all of these ex-chiefs, whether they're Bank of England governors, Carney or whatever, as soon as they leave office, they say the opposite of what they were saying when they were in office. So here, no surprise really. They know the truth, but they don't want to be around and see this happen on their watch. But as we go forwards into the autumn, well, probably won't have to wait for the autumn, to be honest with you. This is what it's going to look like. Most people are worried about the virus. I've been worried about the global financial system for years. And now we're seeing it unfold before our very eyes as we see the US dollar starting to slide. It's got a long way to go. It looks dramatic here at the moment, but there is a lot more on the downside when you actually look at a monthly chart. And we'll get really worried when we get through the 88 level that we see here, and then head down to the 2008 level. So long way to go. But that's fine by me, because that was going to push the price of gold and silver to the upside. This is the overnight. Silver again, once rallied strongly, has come back at the moment. There is some profit taken in this market. Am I worried? Absolutely not. It can come back to here if it wants, and I'll just buy more. Not a problem. It's a long-term trade. And then in the gold monthly, you can see that we went through the all-time highs, and the market's come back to this level. Again, no surprise. The market needs to breathe before it can once again start to move to the upside, and that's what we're seeing: profit taking and a bit of arrest and consolidation. So this is all good news for the stock market, because I've noticed that the overnight, the volatility has started to increase as well. Here in the daily charts, you can see that we're already coming off the highs, and try to get through the 5-bar moving averages is starting to look weak. It's picking up, as we can see. This is just the overnight session, so hopefully then we'll start to see prices moving sharply up and down. And this is the start of the overnight. And again, you can see that prices put about 70 points there, and then dropped just over 100 as well. So like I say, the volatility is picking up a bit, and we've got prices below the 200 and the high and the close of the previous day there as well. So yeah, all good news as far as this is concerned. And then yesterday's trades, where the market was fairly quiet. We kicked off early on. You can see the market trading up to the DP level there. We've got some profit taking from the shorts there. They reversed the market. And then we had selling pressure as we got through the DP level, and then up towards this the scalp first profit target and the BRN. But you'll see in this bar, immediately we've got a problem because we've got all of this volume in here. It's selling volume, but the prices remain above the DP at this point and managed to trade back to the entry points. But again, you can see the volume building, and now we've broken the DP level on very high volume, and prices again try to break back above the DP level and eventually head back. We're closing to below the 5 bar moving average. We've got the 20 bar and we've got the 200 MA there. Already we can see there's a problem, and even trying to buy back the market here as the price is traded lower, the volume's greater, they're trying to bring it back, but unfortunately the market succumbed to selling. You can see how they managed to move it back up here, but it closes below the 5 bar moving average on high volume. Another indication that there is weakness there, out of the trade. So then we have a short. The market trades down through the BRN, which you can see here, but we need to trade through the first profit target scalp, and then we've got support down here at the close. You see the market eventually breaks through and heads down towards the close there, driving through. No major increase in the volume there. So at this stage we're looking for any clues that there could be some potential strength, and we can see this coming in here. You can see the market coming off the lows, heading back towards the close, and the volume has increased there. And then prices, as you'll see, they start to once again come back out of the trade. I think it's not worth staying in here, and the key is this bar here, where you've got the market coming off those lows and then it's starting to drop off. So the selling has disappeared at this point, and then you can see prices come back there, and then they trade sideways and eventually break out to the upside there. And I wasn't around at this point, unfortunately. I had to go out to an appointment, but then there was a sell signal. This took out the 200 MA at the entry, then got trapped in between the DP and the 200 MA there, but prices eventually succumb. It's interesting there as well, tiny bar there, as prices then reversed off this, and you can see there then getting through the 200 MA, a bit of a torturous trade there, but eventually breaking through and then finding support where the market broke through to the left there, which you'll see there finding support, and then we get to the end of the trading session there. So the market finding that support there, and then in the afternoon session, let's just have a look at this. We started off with the market trading sideways, and then eventually we had sideways to lower, and we had you can see the support coming in here with the green bar at the close. Again, you'll see these green bars inside of the red ones in these areas, and then the market moving higher. We've got this resistance to the left, which I've drawn in, where we had some selling, some potential weakness, and the market sat here for a moment or two, and then we've got the 200 MA above it. Prices broke through and then eventually started to move higher, but started to drop off a bit, and as we headed towards the 200 MA and then the volume started to increase, you'll see that the prices started to, as soon as we got to the 200 MA, this was the area where we started to see some potential weakness, and then the market pulling back, as you see here. This is a classic shakeout. Now watch for something very interesting that goes on here, and it's a great way of measuring the trend of a market. Even though the market's come back, and I'm out already on this trade, but I sat and watched this looking for clues of how either we could re-enter, or had I have stayed in and left the stop in the original place. And what's intriguing is it will come back to the 20 bar moving average, and it puts in what are like test bars, and you can see the volume has increased there as well. And once it closes back above this, so what you've got this shakeout, get rid of the stops, get rid of the people, and then the market comes back, tests here, which you can see with the increase in volume. It's not above the average, but you can see that it's greater than the previous bar. The market's close towards the high of the bar, and then eventually the market breaks and then starts to move higher. It stops at the 200 MA, and then again you see the market moving higher. Now what's interesting here is we see how tight it got between the 200 and the 5 bar moving average, and then eventually again you will see prices start to come back. They close below the 5 and they come back to the 20, the BRN, and once again you can see that this time it's highlighted with the green volume. We've got the same thing that we had here. So again, the trend isn't broken. This uptrend is it's swinging in quite an erratic, well, not so much erratic, but in a motion here that you can actually see the defined pullbacks. It is the definition of a swinging back and forth swing trades. And then eventually we break through the 200 MA. And now we're above the 5 bar moving average as well. We've closed back above the 5 bar and above the 200. Now you can see how it's closing back above that 200 as well. And these are small little pointers that are well worth observing when you're watching the market. So now, measuring the momentum of this market, you can see after the attempts to get back above the 5 bar and the 200, you're looking for the market to continue to close above that 5 bar moving average. And that's what we see as we head towards the DP. Prices come back below it, but then they go back and they eventually, as you'll see, go back above the DP. And again, watch that 5 bar moving average, how it actually holds the market. But eventually, as with all of these moves to the upside, we then see the market come back, and prices do move lower from this point where they turn red. There's another few green bars in between, but eventually prices do actually move back to the downside. If we look at yesterday's 2-minute chart, you'll see this point here. That's where I stop recording, and prices move lower, trading back down to the close, where we see the green bars as usual. Okay, that's it for this one. This is a very long one, so I will conclude, except to say that let's have a quick look at today's economic news. We've just got the two. I don't know whether it's going to be a slow Tuesday, but I think the volatility is picking up quite nicely, and we could see a bit more activity going forward, in particular with what's happening with the precious metals and the US dollar, as well as we've looked where it is starting to fall apart, which like I say, it's just the last of the currencies, global currencies, to actually start losing its value. All others have already done so. It just was the stronger currency. Okay, that's it for this one. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.